Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. This is your no-nonsense guide to building and upgrading the ice staff in the tomb. To begin with, we'll build the staff. It's comprised of 3 parts, and the first part is super easy to get because it's a guaranteed drop from a shock mimic that's going to spawn in on round 8. So get to the round, kill the mimic, it'll drop it on the floor, and you can pick that up. And the second and third parts are both going to come from these pieces of art, which we're going to call the constellations, just for the purpose of this step. These constellations are going to be activated using the purple fiery gems that are now going to be lit up around the map, assuming that you've already placed the amulet down in front of the red portal entrance here and caused that to open. But if you haven't done that yet, none of these purple fiery crystals are going to be spawned in. There are something like 15 total spawn locations for them around the map. Some of them are down by quick revive, others are near speed cola, some are near stamina up, etc. But there's one group of 4 crystal spawns in particular near the hunter picture, which we're going to focus on, and then we're going to do the same thing with the bull picture. So at the hunter picture, you're trying to get the crystal to spawn in here, right next to the hunter. And if it's not already there, that means it's going to be in one of the other 3 spots that I'm showing you now. It could be here potentially, or it could be over here, or it could be over here. And so wherever it is in those 3, you just need to destroy it and then wait 45 seconds, and then it will spawn back in again. And if it's in the spot closest to the hunter, then perfect. You can just leave it there, and that will cause some new symbols to spawn in on the hunter. Or if it's not next to the hunter yet, then you need to destroy it in one of those other 3 locations again, and again, just rinse and repeat until it spawns by the hunter. Now, if you do this like 10 times and it's still not working, you can always try some other crystals a little further afield, but generally in my experience, focusing on the crystals closest to the hunter is the most effective strategy. Now, like I said, once you get the crystal in the right place, you'll see some new symbols appear on the hunter, but I'm going to just explain how it works to get the bull spawn in the right place as well, because after that, the steps are the exact same. So for the bull, once again, there are 4 spawn locations here. One of them is the one that we want, just here right in front of the bull picture, and the other 3 possible spawns in that zone are as follows. One is just here, so destroy it if the crystal's there. One is just here, and another is just here. So if the crystal is in any of those extra 3 spots, destroy it and try and get it to spawn closest to the bull. And again, if you have any extra trouble on this, shoot some of the crystals further afield as well, and that might help you get the spawn in the right spot. So assuming you now have your crystals in the right spot and you've got the monocle, that's going to mean that the lights are going to start appearing on the hunter and the bull pictures. And for this, you just need to shoot these lights in the following order. Now, there should be either 10 symbols on the hunter picture or 8 symbols on the bull picture. And if you've got less, it's a visual bug, and you just need to shoot a random symbol, and that will basically cause the puzzle to reset, and it should fix the bug. But once you've got the proper number of symbols appearing, this is the order that you need to shoot them in. It's basically an alternate way of writing a Roman numeral, and just shoot them in the exact order that I'm showing you here. And the symbol order is the exact same on both the hunter and on the bull. It's just that the hunter one goes up an extra 2 numbers. And when you do that on either side, it will start a little lockdown, and you'll have to fight off 4 waves of zombies and special enemies. And each of the waves basically has a purple ball moving to each of the 4 crystal spawns in your constellation's sort of zone or area. And once you've beaten all of those waves and done it all inside that little lockdown area, you'll be rewarded with a staff part. And you just need to do this on both sides, the hunter side and the bull side. And then with both of them done and with the monocle in your inventory, you can go into the dark ether via that portal that we opened up earlier, and you can hold square on this broken wall in the center. And that's going to start a sequence which builds the staff for you, but you need to defend the staff while it's being built. So fight off all the zombies for the following 60 seconds or so, and then you can pick the staff up at the end. Next, we're going to upgrade the staff, and this begins by going back to the underground area of the map, and now you need to shoot 3 crystals in quick succession with the staff, and that's going to cause them to freeze instead of just exploding like they normally do when you shoot them with a bullet weapon. The tricky thing here is that you need to shoot all 3 within about 10 seconds. You have to be very, very quick. And so what I'd recommend is kind of coordinating your crystal spawns in the various areas so that you've got them in very quick running distance from one another, or so that you can sort of see down line of sight one in the distance and you can shoot that while being pretty close to another, and that saves you time running around, right? And if you need to move the crystals, that's fine. Just shoot them with a bullet weapon that will cause them to respawn in a different spot 45 seconds later. And you can use that to curate where they are. And you can get 3 that are nice and close together and then shoot them in quick succession with your staff. And that will cause them to freeze over. And if done successfully, you'll get a quote from Sir Archibald where he mentions the fires being extinguished. But if you're having trouble with this, some pro tips could be to try using Tribologist on PhD or potentially using Hot Foot, the stamina up augment. And those can give you a little bit of a speed boost so you can get between crystals faster. Alternatively, if you're in co-op, you can actually have 2 staffs present in one game. So you could just dedicate 1 crystal to 1 staff and then have another player do their 2 crystals and get it done that way. So with the quote successfully achieved, you want to hear that quote before you move on here, you need to go back into the Dark Ether and shoot these 3 symbols on the rocks floating in the sky. And you can do these in any order. The spawns will not always be the exact same, but they will always be on the rocks floating quite near to you rather than the rocks that are much further away in the skybox. So walk around looking up and make sure that you're not just looking at one side of a rock, but not checking its other side, because it might be that the symbol is just sort of on its backside. So look up there, find the purple glowing symbols and shoot all 3 of them with the ice staff. When you shoot each one, it's going to lower the rock down towards you. And then once you shoot the 3rd, you're going to get another quote, and one of the 4 portals inside the Dark Ether is going to close. And on the other side of that portal is going to be a set of runes that we need to go take a look at. So exit via one of the other portals that's still open. And before you go, memorize the symbols that you had on your rocks. And then once you're back in the sort of real world, in the underground, go to the door that was closed in the Dark Ether. So if blue closed, that's the one in the spawn. If red closed, that's the one near quick revive. If yellow closed, that's the one near stamina up. And if green closed, that's the one near speed cola. And once you get there, you'll see that there are 8 possible symbols for you to shoot with your ice staff. And you only need to shoot the 3 that correspond to the symbols that you had on your rocks in the Dark Ether. When you do this, it will open the door back up and you will then need to go through it. And it will spawn you in high up with a purple ball in front of you. Hold square on the purple ball, and this will then start an escort sequence where you need to very closely follow the purple ball through the map and kill zombies as you go to charge the ball up and keep it moving. Now, this is one that you'll probably fail a couple of times because it is a little bit fiddly, but the 2 things really to just focus on are staying with the purple ball at all times and making sure that you are killing zombies as much as possible so that those purple souls are flying into the ball and powering it to keep it mobile. It will take about a minute and a half, I'd say, to get through this step. And at the end, I think you'll get an amalgam to spawn and you'll need to take that down and that will power the ball up a bit as well. And then the ball will fly into the broken wall that we interacted with earlier. And now you just need to go over to that wall with your staff and hold square and the staff will become upgraded to the ULLS arrow. But what happens if you fail? Well, if you fail, the purple ball is going to fly into the sky and you'll need to go to the next round to try this again. And you'll basically need to shoot the symbols on the door again and that will open the door back up. And then you can go through the door and hold square on the purple ball again and give it another try. Also, if you're having trouble with this automatically failing every time you try and start it, it's probably because you don't have your entire team going into the Dark Ether with you to escort the purple ball. You need to make sure they are all there and all in close proximity to the ball, otherwise this will not work. But assuming you've got ULLS Arrow now upgraded, there are 2 options in front of you. Number 1 is you've got to learn how to use the damn thing. So you've got your primary fire just like before it was upgraded, but you've also now got an alt fire, which is on L2 on controller, and that is a charged attack that is going to create a storm cloud in front of you, and it will freeze any zombies that walk into it, just like the Origins Ice Staff. However, you can also flip over to an alt fire version of the staff by pressing left on your D-pad, or I believe it's B on keyboard, and that's going to pull up a thing called Sekhmet's Vigor, and it's going to allow you to use R2 to fire a bolt of healing energy at downed teammates in order to revive them. So the staff is both offensive and defensive. But I mentioned you had 2 options in front of you, right? That was the first option, just learning how it works. The second is, now that you've got this thing, you're actually pretty far through the Easter egg on this map. So click through to the main quest Easter egg guide that I've got linked on the screen right now, and you can get that done and then flex an alternate staff skin to all your friends. So click through now and I'll see you there.